Welcome back to the industry track. I hope everyone enjoyed some of the amazing networking that happened right before. If not, don't worry, there'll be more chances to network. I'm very excited to move into our last section of the type conference in the industry track with certainly a focus more on medical applications now. And I'm very excited that we have Naomi Murray here to kick us off. She is the Director for Advanced Operations at Stryker, and she's going to be walking us through how her company has some use for AM. So Naomi, welcome to the stage, and I will let you take over from here. Let's see. Naomi, make sure that you're unmuted. It's still muted, but I sent a request to unmute you. We don't hear you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull you off the stage, Naomi. If you can just refresh your browser, and then when you come back in, I'll bring you back up on the stage and we'll try again. Sometimes that helps. So we are going to just take a brief pause for a minute or two here and let Naomi come back in, and then we will get started. Okay, I'm going to bring Naomi back up on stage again. Okay, it looks like you are still muted. I just sent a request again to get you to unmute. Okay.
How about now?
We can hear you now.
Hey.
Great news.
Excellent. Sorry about that for the technical difficulties. I'm not sure what happens, but we're set and we're ready to go. Am I on stage now and ready? Excellent. Thanks, Melanie. I'm sorry about the difficulties. Hi, everyone. I am really excited to be here today. Women in 3D Printing. It's a great event and a first event, and I hope there are many more to come, and I'm honored to be here to speak to you all today. I'm going to share my screen here. I'll talk a little bit about Stryker's journey in additive manufacturing. So let's see if I can get this right. Here we go. And hopefully you are seeing manufacturing devices to make healthcare better through additive manufacturing. I guess someone pipe up and let me know if you are not seeing the right screen.
We can see it, Naomi. It looks great.
Excellent. Awesome. We're ready to go. So what I'll talk about today is a little bit of a company overview. Who is Stryker? Who are we? I'll talk a little bit about Stryker's additive manufacturing history, how we got to where we are today, and where we started. I'll talk about our designs and some of our product features. Oops. So just to start, our mission. Our mission at Stryker is really important. We really live this every day working in the company. It is together with our customers. We are driven to make healthcare better. We work every day with our customers to deliver new solutions for healthcare. We live the core values that we have through integrity. We do what's right. We are accountable. We do what we say we're going to do. We grow our people, our talent through our people, and ultimately we deliver performance. At the heart of what we do and what we believe is really making healthcare better. Really in that collaboration, that part in our mission statement, together with our customers, it's deliberate by collaborating with our customers to develop innovative products and services that ultimately improve the lives of our patients. We really deliver on that mission. Our core values are definitely around that accountability. With our mission, with our strategy coincides with our mission, and that's how we deliver on our mission. Our strategy is to drive market-leading growth and achieve category leadership in med-surg equipment, orthopedics, neurotechnology, and spine. It's really underpinned by our foundation of quality and talent and culture around really mission-driven, diverse, and inclusive teams. I hate to do this to you all, but for some reason on my screen, the presentation isn't tracking, so I'm going to go out of presenter mode for just a minute, and I'm going to try to go back into presenter mode to make sure I get you guys everybody the right presentation. Not sure what's going on here today on this this thing. We're going to try one more time. And I'll just walk through it to where we were. All right. I'm going to keep going. I apologize, everyone. Something is really, really going crazy. All right, we're going to try one more time. One more time sharing the screen. All right.
Naomi, if you want to email me your slides quick, I can present them and you can say next slide, or feel free just to talk to us and talk us through it. Whatever.
I'm gonna try one more time. It's a little big to email, so let me just give this a try one more time. And let's see. So if I share my entire screen, you're probably okay. All right. You're probably seeing me, and we're going to now the presentation. All right, seeing the presentation again.
We do it, and it looks great.
Okay. There we go. All right, I'm going to go on here. I think it looks like it's all tracking in both places. Thanks again for your patience. So just quickly at a glance, we're about a $14.9 billion company in annual sales. We really focus a lot on patents and on innovation within the company. About 40,000 employees worldwide, and we're very proud to say that we've had 40 years of straight sales growth. And that's something that we're very excited about for our customer and for also our stock markets customer. But really what it's about is about our beginning and our science and innovation that runs through our company's blood from its day one. This is a picture of our founder, Dr. Homer Stryker. He was an orthopedic surgeon in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and he had this philosophy. And he summed up that philosophy with these words: if your tools don't work, make them work. And if you can't make them work, make some that do. And I just want to say that's what he did. You know, while he was still in medical school, he was already designing and tinkering. And then when he became a surgeon, he was working in the lab in the basement of the hospital, designing new things. You know, the hospital bed is shown there. That was a really innovative design in the time, where it helped folks who were in bed not get as many bed sores and those sorts of things. One of my favorite is actually the cast cutter on the screen there that you see. I myself have had the opportunity to have someone use the cast cutter with me, and I can tell you for sure it cuts the cast, but it will not cut your skin. So it's an amazing innovation that was still used today. And we really, with additive within Stryker, have really taken that philosophy to heart when we've gone through our development process and our bringing additive to fruition. Just a quick look at the segment that we fit in. So we are a global medtech leader. We have segments in neurotechnology through spine and neurovascular. We have a large orthopedic section of our company, and then we also have businesses in sort of the instruments, endoscopy, and medical portion of our company. A quick look at our products breadth and depth. So our product and services do range from reconstructive implants, hip implants, knee implants, to state-of-the-art medical and surgical equipment, neurotechnology, spine products, and also just a mention of the Mako robotic arm-assisted technology. This depth and specialization sets Stryker apart, and all for one crucial purpose, and it is really to enhance and to save people's lives. And of course, how do we measure ourselves as a company? I touched on it a little bit earlier with the growth. Success really is not just about money. It is about every customer satisfied. It is about every patient's life improved or saved through our products, and every employee inspired by the work they do every day. We are a business, though, so we do measure our financial results. So it's important to us, and it's important to our stakeholders. So at this slide, you can see this is a strong company. We do care about our customers and our patient satisfaction, and we are very proud of that 40 straight years of growth over those 40 years. But enough about Stryker. We're going to turn into Stryker and their additive manufacturing, titanium, and our laser rapid manufacturing process. We believe that we have a competitive edge throughout our development process and what we can offer to our customers through our additive manufacturing process. And we measure that competitive edge in 3 areas. We measure it through and we talk about it actually through those 3 areas, through additives, our heritage with additive manufacturing. We talk about innovation, the way we've used additive manufacturing, and we look at our additive design. If I go first into talking a little bit about our history with additive manufacturing, we did start it was small seed funding in a university, which grew into a larger relationship as the technology matured. Those circles down on the bottom are to represent in a pictorial way how it really was an embedded relationship all the way from that, benchtop university work all the way through our R&D organizations within the company, as well as our manufacturing team. Very strong partnership to make this work. We had our first patent in 2002, and our first prototype equipment was purchased in 2007. It took a few years before we were satisfied that we had gone along the journey far enough to get our first production equipment in 2011, where we then had our first surgeries with additively manufactured product through our triathlon titanium base plate in 2013. Interestingly, and you'll see this is a bit of a theme throughout the talk, we really focused on what we call serial implants, where we're making discrete sizes and we're making the same implant time and time again. I know a lot of other focuses elsewhere have been on patient-specific, which certainly is a technology that does lend itself to patient-specific, and we had our first patient-specific surgeries using this technology in 2019. During that development process, it is important to protect your IP, and we did patent many aspects of Stryker's use of the technology, from our porous structure, which we call our titanium technology, to how we use the technology in medical devices. And the work has really accumulated into more than 12 patents being granted with Stryker. So to move on to perhaps the more interesting and exciting part of it is the competitive edge, additive innovation side of it. And for us, we were looking at a unique and clever way to make a porous structure called titanium. And as I mentioned, we were really looking to create a serial product. product. We wanted the technology to be suitable to create a product time and time again, where we really could leverage its repeatability. The fact that it's all digitally transferred from the design into the machine to melt and to build the product, and we could digitally and physically create the same part every time. I want to mention and give kudos to our titanium evolution. We got to where we are today with our titanium technology, which we do leverage and use additive manufacturing for, through a series of inventions and innovations in porous metal technology, all the way going back to 1982, where people started putting metal beads, sintering metal beads onto components to try to get the bone to interdigitate in the spaces between the beads. And we went through a variety of manufacturing processes to create titanium technology, really coming down on what we think of all these four is the best technology for these porous metal, for titanium technology in additive manufacturing. Really, for us, it was we had a problem that we were trying to solve. We were looking for a way in which to create these porous technologies in a repeatable way. We needed to promote the biologic fixation. It was really, you saw some of the pictures of the other manufacturing methods, but a lot of those methods, although they worked and they produced really very good products, they were difficult in the manufacturing setting, difficult to manufacture, creative geometries, and we found that we were constrained to the designs that we could actually make. So we went ahead with the additive manufacturing, launching our first product in 2014. So we have really been able to grow, and I'll talk a little bit about our growth. Next, I'm going to go into a video. I'm hoping it comes through with the technical difficulties I've had here. Just giving you a little bit of some show of how we use additive manufacturing for one of our products. All right, it's a nice fly through on some of the animation through the porous structure. You can see how it is designed really to have as much open space as possible for that bone to interdigitate into the implant. If I go on then to talking about some of our devices and some of the designs, I'll keep mindful of the time here. Really, I think a lot of the reasons we went after additive manufacturing and a lot of the ways we use it is very common out there in the industry, meaning that it is really about that design freedom. When we talk about the previous ways to be porous tritanium. Very difficult to place that tritanium structure wherever you want. You know, now we can. We really have the freedom to put our tritanium wherever it makes sense, and then add solid features through building the component at the same time. There's no sintering of the porous coating onto a substrate, and we really then can start coming up with some unique designs that say make an implant stiffer in one location, or more flexible in another, or allow for porous interdigitation in another, or polyethylene to be molded into another. So it's really about that design freedom, allowing those hybrid structures and functionally located porosity. We also used it in sort of a more traditional way. I think we've all seen, you know, rapid prototyping to make different designs to see how they come about. We've certainly seen how it's really been beneficial in our design cycle, where we can use our exact manufacturing method to make a lot of rapid concepts for development. This is an example on our tibial base plate, our triathlon cementless tibial base plate, where when we were looking at the design of that peg, we were looking at, well, what would actually give the best seating into, not seating, but pull-out strength of the tibial base plate, because it's really important that the base plate is seated very well and is stable and not moving early on, to allow for bony fixation. We really like to as well combine additive manufacturing as a technology with some of our other internal technologies. We have a database called Stryker Orthopedics Modeling and Analytics, affectionately known as SOMA, which helps us design implants in the right way. And when we can design using these tools, we can, it hasn't been moving. We'll catch up a little bit here. All right, I think we're caught up on the screen. So it's a database that really helps us make better decisions when we're designing. If you look at the past, which is over there on the left of the screen, you know, the primary method for developing the shape of implants decades ago, you know, was 2D radiographs or cadaver measurements. But now we can use 3D information from scans to collect 3D images to look at how we should design implants. So if we look at how SOMA was designed, it was designed a little bit like a pyramid, where we have our comprehensive bone database. With that, we take and we use some analytical tools to add functionality and customized software tools to add functionality to help us with design. What you're seeing here is an automation showing if we take a design from, a scan from patients. We have over 3,500 CT scans now in our database, which allow for over 20,000 outer and inner cortical bone segments. And what we can do is we can extract parts of that, parts of the bone segments, to help us with designing the implants. So here, if you take a look at, and you have, say, 3,000 hip bone segments, you can then take them and you can mathematically average them, and then you can do measurements and look at the distribution of measurements across the population, and you can look at where your sizing of your implants is then best fit. This is an animation of an example of a trauma plate and looking at how it would fit a family of patients best fit. And then we also have an opportunity to do some data mining. So an example of using this technology was with our tritanium base plate, where we're looking at, again, these pegs. Go back to a lot of work in those pegs, is the location of those pegs needs to be just right for that stability of the implant, but not too close out to the harder bone that's on the outside. You know, you want to keep it within the bone on the inside of the bone, which makes it more stable. Other examples is that we are able to use SOMA to verify. This is an acetabular shell, which is the, if you look at a ball and cup socket for the hip, it's the cup part of it. And we can look at where we need to place these screw holes. And then additive manufacturing, through unique design, we can actually put solid features where we want to, and we leave the porous structure for that interdigitation, and we can increase the angulation of this screw, which is important when you're trying to get that acetabular shell really fixed into the patient. So again, you want the shell to be stable so that you can allow for that bony interdigitation and the biologic fixation into our tritanium material. Doing that as well allows us to make a slimmer shell, which allows us to then increase the range of motion that the patient is likely to have after a surgery. So we've really been excited to leverage the additive manufacturing technique to create designs that give value for our patients and customers. And these are just some statistics around, what types of porosity we have within our porous structure. But what I like about this slide is it shows that we can control our porous structure. We can control titanium through additive manufacturing, and it being all digital, to have a different porosity, say at the surface of our implant, where we really want to get that bone to grow into it, but have maybe a slightly less porous or more dense towards the substrate, where your solid material is to add some strength or to change your stiffness of your component. Another example is our spine cages, which you can have some solid features, really close in interdigitated or intertwined with your porous structure, your titanium, really allowing again for the bone and growth. And what we found too is with titanium through additive manufacturing, it really has some unique properties around wicking of biologic fluids and also cell adhesion and bone and growth. I love this. I like just to point this out. I know we're getting kind of close on time here. I love this one here where the black is your metal cage and the pink here is all bone that's grown through that metal cage, which is just phenomenal in growth in a sheet model. We do have products that are patient specific, as I mentioned. These don't use the titanium technology, but they still leverage the additive manufacturing platform to be able to make a patient specific. In this case, it's for our cranial maxillofacial, where we use it for orthognatics, where we are looking to change the shape of the face a little bit, or if there's trauma or oncology within CMF. Just a quick one around the cadence and what has worked within additive manufacturing products within Stryker. You can see the approximate cadence from the surgeries, the first surgeries and the launches of the product from 2013 out to 2020. 2021 is just early on, so it'll be exciting to see where we go with this in 2021. Maybe I can come back next year and give a bit of an update. Another tool is our robotics, so the robotic assisted arm surgery, where we can design implants that are specific through SOMA database. We can only implant them on our robotics, which gives a really super outcome from our patient, and then we can marry that with the 3D printed technologies. Just a quick one. What's next for additive manufacturing? I really think we have a continued innovation within the business, within 3D printing and additive manufacturing. And I know that my eye is on cost end to end, from the design all the way to we get the product with the hospitals and into the patients. I think there's a focus as well on end to end, really minimizing post processing. That will drive costs down. And I also think that we have some ways to go around being sustainable as a business, as an industry for additive manufacturing. And I know we talk about it a lot, but what's next for that? It's probably time we make some moves in the sustainability part of additive manufacturing. And with that, it was a bit of a super zip through the presentation, but I do know we want to keep on time for the conference. And so if there is a couple of minutes for questions, I'll go ahead and stop. And we can go for some questions.
Thank you so much, Naomi. That was awesome. I love seeing all the applications. And we do have a few questions that have come through. I will ask you the ones that have been voted to the top. The first one is related to how you ended, where you talked a little bit about what's next. Can you talk a little bit more about what you might need from the AM industry to move forward? Like, do you want new materials, better processes, software?
Yeah, so yes, everything. Can I have it all? I think if you look at our company and you look at the wide variety of our products, if you really want to industrialize additive manufacturing, we probably are talking new materials, other materials that when they're out there. I think we are also truly industrializing and truly making, bigger marks into the industry. You're talking cost, right? Like, so features do buy you some, but like really that thinking of the end to end, like I question is it the is it a part price per kilogram really that's interesting, or is it how much does it cost from that very beginning first idea in the CAD model all the way to when it gets to the patient, and how do we really look at the full value chain of what we're trying to do?
Great, thank you. I will ask just one more question, and that is related to, again, materials and your view on future materials. And the question is if Stryker is looking towards adapting biomaterials.
That's the big question, right? You know, I think our if you look in papers and online and in the medical industry in general, there's a huge interest in biomaterials. You know, I think that I think the jury's still out yet in terms of how that's going to actually make a difference, and can we make it sustainable? Can we make it manufacturable to a large scale? And I think that there's still ways we have to go as an industry to figure out how to do that.
Thank you so much, Naomi. It was a great presentation.
You're welcome. Thanks so much.